So yes, welcome to Stage Left Guitar World with In Flames. This is Björn's rig with In Flames. Do a quick rundown for you today. There's not very much to it. We have standard valve amplifiers, nothing digital. We like a good tube amp. Both all Marshall. The top two heads are custom made. They're a little bit unusual. Similar to the JVM in its guts, but there's a lot more going on. And then the bottom amp is a JVM 50 watts, so we use a 50 watt for the clean tones, and all the distortion sounds are coming out of this amplifier here. Now the signal path side of things is even more simplistic. We have standard Shure wireless receiver, so the guitar signal comes into this. We then send this into a RJM line mixer, which then combines the two signals into a single input. From this we then go into the tune, rock and panic buttons. Björn likes to tune his guitar on stage, less so these days, but he certainly likes to have the option. So we have a tune system which sends directly out to a tuner on stage. There's no signal on stage, so this is just a tuner feed and nothing else. In the rock mode it then sends into the decimator. This is the first level of noise filtration. We go from the decimator into, I'll slide this in for you, into the GCX. Now this handles all our effects. We have very few effects in the system, but this keeps everything isolated, so if something fails we can bypass it immediately. Now I'll slide this back in again, sorry. The first thing we use is the Crybaby rack mount wah. Björn uses this on pretty much all of his solos. So again, we want a remote system so there's no signal on stage. So we then go from this into, now on the main distortion sound, or the rhythm sound, it goes directly to the amp. There is nothing else in that at all. It's just amplifier and occasionally a wah. Now for his solos, we do a little bit of a boost. We use the Ibanez TS9, which one it was there. So the tube screamer there just gives us a little bit of a boost, slightly sort of sharper tone. And the amplifier has a built-in delay on it. And that delay is switched again by the GCX. So that sort of slightly more open sound you get is it's a very, very short delay. There's basically one and a fraction of a repeat on it. It just opens up the tone a little bit. Now then, for the crunch sound or the clean sounds, there's a slightly more going on. The clean sound again, we run from the GCX into this, the TC Electronics. So we're using this primarily for the delay. Again, there's a built-in reverb on the amp, which sounds great. So for the clean sound, we use a little bit of delay and a little bit of chorus. And I do mean a little tiny bit. It's just a little bit of air again. Lets it breathe more, opens out the sound. Now the third tone we have is the crunch tone. So again, using the JVM 205, we have these, the MXR GTODs. We have two for a very good reason. There's more than one crunch tone in the band's album, repertoire, the back catalogue. The one we're using most at the moment is the Wallflower Crunch, which is a slightly softer crunch. But songs like Trigger have a slightly more aggressive crunch in them. We switch to that pedal. That's a manual switch. I have to do that myself. There's no double patching on this. I select the crunch for the correct song. But again, that's done while this amp's silenced. You'd never hear it out front. I can switch those all day. As long as this amp isn't live, no one will ever know because that loop is closed. Most bands will have guitar cabs on stage. We do have one, just a standard Marshall 4x12. However, everything that's mic'd, everything that's coming out of front is coming out of these two boxes here. Now these are Box of Doom isolation cabinets. They give us the opportunity of having the microphones wide open. Is a much purer tone out of these. It also means you're not getting drums down there, you're not getting any other noise. And these are single Celestion 12-inch vintage 30. I'll open this up. And the top one, which is the clean one, we have a pair of ribbon microphones. And the bottom cab is identical, but it has to have two large diaphragm condensers instead, so they handle all the sound you hear at front. If you want to look at some guitars, we have the Epiphone custom Les Pauls. There's four of these out now. Well, I'll hide that one. There's three of these and currently one custom Les Paul. But again, these are factory standard. There's nothing done to these. It's the EMG 8185 combo. It's exactly the same guitar you can buy in the shop. There is very little that can't be achieved from home, basically. And there, that's it. Thank you very much.